All right, what's happening, YouTubers? Welcome to another edition of the Lonely Fans.
Sorry,
I got back from the quantum realm.
Music, man.
I was expecting that too. It was like, nope, doing it live. I'm like, all right, no trailer.
Not a trailer this time. Sorry, we're
Some
back.
magic for you.
Well, we got some magic brewing up with our review of. We're gonna talk about today Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania. Spoiler talks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Today, joined by Pack Photos, Fun Guy Sheen, and Albie. And just to kind of go around first, get started, y'all. What did y'all think of the movie? Like your overall grading and why you gave it that?
I go last.
You go last. All right. I'll go. I'll get dibs before you then.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants
I'll
to kick
say I'll give it an 8.5.
us?
8.5, close to 9. I thought it was a very good movie. It gave me, as I told someone today, trippy vibes, but it was very good. I enjoyed it tremendously.
I also give it an enthusiastic 8.5. It is actually an excellent way of evolving the story of Antman, a superhero kind of like always out of his element, and now he's really out of his element, and they did a really good job on showing how he handles this like pretty intense situation. So yeah, enthusiastic 8.5.
Nice. I'll fall in line, but I'll give it an 8. I'll be Simon Cowell. I'll just give it an 8 out of 10. But no, you're right. I'm glad because you know how usually there's reviews that come out before the movies, and it's just like people are giving it mixed reactions. I honestly enjoyed it. Aesthetics in terms of like the CGI were amazing. Storyline was good, especially when it got closer to the middle point where we got to see more of Kang. Because you got to wonder more about his origins and what he was doing in the quantum realm, and then the ending was good too. And then especially after credits, which we'll get to that later. But go ahead, Fun Guy. You have the floor. Final.
I'll only give it a 7.
All right.
That's low, right? What it did well, it did well. What it did too much of, it did too much of. The whole movie was shot in a green screen, so you gotta give the actors credit for that. Sure. There was also acting disparity. You have the goats on there, old goats, new goats, young goats that are trying, right? Paul Rudd was Paul Rudd. I've enjoyed all the Antman movies, right? Because he fits the niche of I'm just the guy in this big world of Avengers and other people, right? Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer have been acting for years, so come on now. Jonathan Majors, we knew, and we've already seen him. We knew he was going to do good. Who played Cassie Lang? What's her name?
Kathleen
Newton.
Oh, Newton.
Yeah.
She did as best as she could do, being in such a big opening film, right? For Phase 5, right? Yeah. So, without giving critiques or praises, solid 7. But I really did enjoy what pieces of science they put in the film. So I want to see what physicist consultants were on the film. That's the nerd part of me. Actually, I'm a nerd. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm going to go research this. I said that during the movie as well. I said, okay. But continue. We'll be here forever.
No, but also shout outs to Jeff Picali. What's up, dude? He said, could have been better, could have been worse. Yeah, I mean, obviously, a movie could always be better. I'm glad it wasn't worse because, like, I don't know. I think this is the kickoff for Phase 5, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it did more to develop Ant-Man, like, especially when they were talking around the table about, like, his book and how the other 3 were working on something to help other people. He kind of realized, wow, he actually, because in the first couple of movies, he's been this humble kind of like quirky guy. Yeah. And then here with the success and like, you know, gloating about it, writing books, signing autographs, getting free coffee. But yeah, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm curious to see, because I'm sure we all want to kind of get to the after credits at some point where it's going to go after that.
Yeah. But
back to the movie though, my bad.
But yeah, going back to what you're saying, that was one of the things I liked about it. I like, we kept hearing about quantum realm this, quantum realm that. when coming into this movie, I wonder, okay, is it still going to feel like an Ant-Man movie? And watching the movie, it really did, because it's still like focused on the story about Scott Lang and where he's come from and all that. Focus a lot on his relationship with his daughter, which that's been the key to like all his movies. Like he'll do anything to like protect his daughters. And but good thing in this case, we actually get to see him fight with her and all that. You see how she learns from him, how to like handle the suit and all that. Probably one of my favorite parts is when they both turn like giant and everything, and he had to sort of like, console her about that. And yeah, that was a really good scene too. But also his relationships with Hank, and I felt like Ho may have been just a tad bit sideline, but she still showed up when she needed to show up. Pretty much needed to show up when he needed like saving. So that was touched.
Side note, I think Civil War would have been different, like Hope said, if she were there. The airport fight.
In what
agreed.
way?
Remember, she said, if I were there, you wouldn't have got caught.
True. I don't know.
She told him to his face, if I were there, y'all wouldn't have got caught.
I was thinking like stupid stuff during that scene. Like when they were hugging, I was like, are they giant size or normal size? Because technically they're in the quantum realm. Are they like normal size people? Or same with
That's not stupid.
with Darren when he was MODOK. I was like, is that a normal size head inside of a quantum body? Or
Very true. I mean, think about it. Like, because to them, when they were explaining, they were normal size. They were normal, but are they normal sized when they're here, or are they? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. My nerd answer is yes. If you took him out, they would be the appropriate size they're supposed to be. MODOK will be a big ass head. They will be normal unless they were shrunk inside. As far as MCU's given me. If she should, like if Scott and Hanks went to mini, they come out mini, it'd still be mini. Yeah, the answer to that in Endgame?
which one?
Remember he comes out the van? Is that Endgame?
No, that was Civil War.
Civil
Oh, no, wait,
no.
which one?
Infinity War. Ant-Man gets freed by the rat. MVP of the
yeah.
movie.
That's Endgame.
Endgame. MVP of the movie is the rat. And then Paul Rudd's character, then Ant-Man.
I mean, it's funny how Endgame was a rat that had to save them, but in this movie, they actually created something that can easily take him out of the quantum realm. Because for a second, I thought him and Hope were going to be stuck in the quantum realm, but no, they just needed to tinker with the thing a bit, and then they came back.
Wait,
That
Jeff.
was said the council was a good move. With Marvel's "Let's murder our villains" in the first movie, save Spider-Man and Hulk, and it makes the comic sense. So that was good. Are you talking about
Agreed.
the Council of Kangs?
Yes, he is.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I was reading that because I don't want to think we were. Let him know we didn't miss.
Not ignoring him, yeah.
I think it's when he goes when they're in prison. He's like, fourth time for me, third for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was pretty funny. But then also when Kang came over and he said, "You're out of your league," I'm like, okay, cool. He's actually like someone to be feared.
Right.
So, well, I don't want to take too long on that, but I hope, and I'll explain it to people that know me in person. If they go, what's the big deal? What's the big deal with Kang? They just won in one movie. He didn't really do anything like Thanos did. I'm going to go.
Is the person you're talking to Jerry Seinfeld?
What's the deal with this guy? So,
What's
what's
the
the
deal
big
with
deal? Like, so,
what's the deal with the stones? Why does he do that?
yeah. So I almost want people to ask me, why was he defeated this early? Why didn't he use his time powers? Because I have the answers, or I can refer you to a YouTube video.
He didn't have it yet.
He didn't have it yet, because remember, he wouldn't have been, good call, you guys. He wouldn't have been stuck in the quantum realm if he could use his time abilities or his tech.
Yeah.
That's why it was a fight. It wouldn't have been a fight if he could use all his power. He was really, 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 really powered down. It was basically Kang with a stick versus everybody else with Tony's tech and Hank Pym's tech. Or sorry, Pym tech and Kang with a stick. That's all it was. I'm like, ooh, that's why it's interesting. But keep going. And he was literally powered down. It was crazy, but it still worked.
they did a good job of like building towards this character, like reveal, like who, like what he's been doing the whole time. Because all we saw was that first glimpse in like the first part of the movie, and then you hear Hope slowly start to mention him. Same with other people. They keep calling him the Conqueror, like Bill Murray's part. His was over and done.
I thought he was going to be in the movie longer, but no, he was in and out.
He served enough when he was supposed to serve it. It was good enough.
It didn't like bother. It didn't bother anyone. He was just like, we had some wild nights together. Just going back and forth. They're like,
honestly, I like that Hank was pretty mature about it. Like, you know, it could have been turned into a thing where he would be jealous, and he goes like, you know what, maybe I don't want to help you guys anymore if you're too
That's true.
busy
Yeah.
with Bill Murray and other people. No,
I'm human in all the ways that matter.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Elaborate, funny. What does he mean by that?
I thought it was funny in front of Hope. She was going like, I was there for 30 years. I had needs. And Hope was like, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. 30 years in human life, that's a long time.
Yeah.
But I do like how he used the thing to grow whatever the thing they drink, and it ended up killing Bill Murray or eating him.
Yes, that was one of my favorite parts.
What do you think?
Hank
It's going to
did-
change your life if you drink it? Oh, well, it did change his life. Because
Hank looks at it and gave one of them revenge. He knew what he was doing.
I like that Hank showed up a lot in this movie. Like, you know, he did. And then he's the one that, you know, pretty much did one of the final blows by bringing all the ants in and like controlling them and like ripping apart, like, you know, King's space and everything. So I thought that was pretty like badass.
That was cool.
I
That-
mean,
that
the
was-
ants. Go ahead. You were talking, sorry.
No, I was like, that showed like Hank, because like we'd seen like flashbacks when he was Ant-Man in the prior movies, but this one you could see like his true potential, what he could actually do. So when he had the army of ants come in, I was like, oh, the ones with the electronics that were from the ant farm too. It's crazy how like they'd been working their whole way repairing the quantum realm, and then once they finally got there,
So, good. I can wait.
Just real quick, you wondered before, how are they going to, you know, bring in ants to this? Because it didn't look like we're going to be seeing any ants, but they found a way, and it worked very well.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, the ants in the ant farm were already doing circuit boards and all that jazz because Hank had said something like that. And then the expose, the ant ex machina, they are flying through and live thousands of years. I guess because of it, they're already advanced, and the tech somehow, I'm gonna use quantum, make fun of myself. So they somehow got quantum upgraded or lived a quantum lifetime. Time got compressed and lived thousands of years. New answers, made their own civilization. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they told Hank the idea. He's like, we got some ideas. Or they have an idea. Because he wasn't controlling them at that point. He was just there able to communicate with them.
Yeah.
That's dope. Just making sure I got it right. I was like, wait, I might have missed that.
It explained it pretty quickly, but either way, it worked for me. I was like, all right, yeah.
All right. Ant time. I gotta say it. You talk to ants. And then he was like, dang it. Good move. Good move. The little guy came up and got me.
I do want to talk about Corey Stoles as MODOK. I thought he did a really good job.
Agreed.
his tiny little feet.
It wasn't as bad. When you see it, it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty cool. Even like it was the humor aspect of it. Because when you see it in the trailer, you think, oh, it's not gonna be, but when you see it, it's actually not that bad. He looked pretty cool.
But he was also pretty intense too. He still had that rage he showed in like the first Ant-Man, and it just, you know, it translated well with him being like MODOK. I kind of hope. I think I hope he's not. I hope he comes back somehow. He can't be dead. We can use MODOK again.
He's not a dick anymore, man.
Yeah.
No.
That was a great. You know, don't be a dick.
But you know, I don't know what do I be? You know, start with like he really stole, at least he stole his part of the show. I enjoyed seeing him on screen. I enjoy how they gave us two different MODOKs. The one from the favorite show we have with Patton Oswalt, MODOK
Yeah,
show.
I mean,
Hey, And hey,
Little
by
bit
the
of
way,
comic.
if you haven't seen that old episode of Slice of Life, go watch it from our review of MODOK and Harley Quinn.
Go watch it because not enough people watch that, and not enough people watch the MODOK show either.
Correct. Those
Clearly
shows
good.
they deserve it. Y'all should check,
Yeah.
people should check, audience, check those out, please. Tell someone else to watch it for you or something.
But it is kind of a goofy concept when you think of MODOK, like just a face and these tiny like hands. And but yeah, I'm glad he came back, and I'm glad there was closure with this character. Well, not closure, but hopefully he does come back. But it made
He's an
sense
Avenger now.
why. Oh, that's right. He's like, oh yeah, you're in. You're an Avenger.
You're like a brother to me. Yeah.
Oh, he's touching his face. Yeah.
I said it. Go ahead.
He kept introducing himself to other people. It's like what did he call Hank Pym? He's just like, it's your apprentice. He's like, geez, what the hell happened to you, Darren?
Yeah.
Every time they see him, it's like
Your protege.
what WTF moment. It's like, God, you're still here?
So good.
I mean, I did feel bad for him when he was talking, and then Kang was like, don't speak while I'm in the room. I'm like, oh, crap.
They kind of had a Darth Vader vibe. Was I the only one who missed that?
No,
Yeah, he did.
you did not miss that.
Did I say?
Like when he
I
pushes,
didn't say Darth Vader
like
vibe.
Pac just said, when he pushes him up and tells him to speak, like it's kind of like a Darth Vader moment.
Yeah.
Very. They drew upon a bunch of franchises with that whole scene.
Huh, he wishes he could be like Hayden Christensen. Jonathan Majors, who? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Good one. Good one. Oh, Bean.
I mean, I've been hearing people making a lot of Star Wars comparisons, which I think the comparisons are fine, but they felt a bit of a stretch. Like maybe I see some similarities, but it's not like, obvious similarities to it. Like people kept talking about the canteen scene. They go, "Oh, that's just like Star Wars." I go, like, "Okay, yes, there's a bar and there's aliens. Ergo, it's Star Wars." Okay, wow.
It
I'll say
wasn't.
some of the costumes were.
Star Wars also was an original concept. It took.
Oh, like the cloaks from Tatooine. Okay.
Sure,
yeah. But it the problem is, why didn't they say Battlestar Galactica or
Doom.
Quark's Bar from Star Trek? If we're geeking out, huh?
Yeah.
Why not those?
Or Doom.
Why not Dune reference with the covers? Dune did it before Star Wars.
I agree with that. I'll be like, when they say the bar thing, like there could be a bar in space with anything. Like I don't know if that's really a comparison on that. Like
MIB bar. I don't know.
There could be a bar in the Snyderverse. Restore the Snyderverse. I'm joking.
What would they have? Jaeger bombs in the Snyderverse? Yeah, we love Jaeger bombs.
We take shots in super slow motion. Yep. When she was about to help him on his machine, when she took a glimpse and seen what he had done to other planets and other people, I kind of wanted to see more of that, to be honest.
Yes. So that's why I hope a lot of people understand the glimpses Janet saw of timelines being destroyed. Planets and timelines. Planets, universes, galaxies, and timelines being wiped out. The guy's a serious threat. So seeing more of that would have been better. But I guess because time constraints are like, we'll show them in other movies. This is a setup for other movies.
We're supposed to contain how this works in the story of Antman. So it worked. And I felt like in the quantum realm, though, we saw, he was already intimidating, how he built that empire. And then, at the very end, he was like, destroying, killing people left and right.
We'll get to that.
Honestly, you don't even see in many Marvel movies, to tell you the truth. So definitely saw more destruction. More destruction in the Ant-Man movie as well, too. Yeah. Because third acts and other Ant-Man movies are pretty light compared, pretty light. But this one, it was more intimidating. So that's what I liked about this. I think it definitely put Ant-Man in its more badass form.
Yeah, you kind of made me thinking about the third act in Antman and Wasp. I forgot it was Ghost. I gotta rewatch that movie.
You did?
Yeah.
Which was fine.
But this is one of those things where it's like the third one is better than the second one. Because usually, isn't it like the third one's always the worst?
Yep.
Or so they said that in Bryan Singer's X-Men Apocalypse movie.
Except for Return of the Jedi.
Because that was the worst.
Whoa.
Just like Return of the Jedi was the worst. One could argue that Return of the King was fine, but compared to Two Towers,
It wasn't better, yeah.
Yeah, it was better.
I will say Two Towers was good.
Yeah,
I don't know what movies you nerds watch, okay? But I watch Expendables 1, 2, and 3. Rocky 1 through 6. All right, and they're all good. Better than the rest.
They're all equally good.
So with the King fight, I was sitting there like, oh, if some other famous YouTube channel has to pick this up. But if you take each thing King did, or a couple of those things, that's how he killed the Avengers in other timelines. The spear stopped. That was Thor's hammer. Okay. The energy, the shot at him, he turned around and converted it to his. That's how he killed a couple Iron Mans, I bet. I was like, ooh, he's just knocking out the Avengers team. The Earth Avengers. I can just see him dead. That's how Tony died. That's how Thor got beat. Thor's confidence dropped as soon as he stopped that hammer like hella. Ooh, I saw all of it.
Oh, when he was like, are you the one with the hammer? It's like, oh, Thor.
Yeah.
No, we get that a lot with the same body type.
That was so good. Yes, that was comic gold.
I assume you guys thought I have a picture of me up there.
Oh,
yeah, I thought that was you. Wait, I saw the arm. I saw the arm, and I thought you. I saw.
Yeah. That's not. I know. I understand. That's Thor. That's Chris Hemsworth. That's not.
Are you sure that's not you?
You mean those PVC statues of him holding Stormbreaker isn't you right there? That's not.
That's also not me. Yeah, no, I didn't get a custom made statue of me. That I bought.
I saw the biceps and triceps, and I assumed it was you.
All the seps. You saw all the seps. Yeah,
I'm sad though.
We have about the same amount of seps.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not me. I should clarify this.
Now,
it's a common mistake. It's all right. It's a common mistake. We all make mistakes. It's all right.
We all make mistakes sometimes.
I thought we had Chris Hemsworth on here. Sorry.
Oh, damn.
Hear me out, because you brought that up, Fawn guy, about him. You know what that reminded me of when he turned? What was that guy's name that was trying to like kill him and be in the energy blast dude with the head? When he turned that energy into his own, that reminded me of when Wu did that thing to Shang.
I'm about to say it.
With the rings, when he threw the rings at him and he converted it to his own energy. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Because the 10 rings originate from that world, yeah.
But did Kang kill him too? Because I was watching that scene. I was like, all right, how does this dude beat the Avengers? Because I'm like, if he's losing to a bunch of these like rebellions and Antman and Wasp, the Avengers could surely handle him.
Correct. But to be unfair to the Avengers, on those Earths, he had his time powers. So he did the things. I think he did the things we saw, plus his original abilities. So if Thor's hammer stopped, it wouldn't just be gravity, because Kang supposedly was using this stuff in the movie through neurokinetics. It'd be whether you use gravity or psychokinesis. We'll explain the difference between telekinesis. When he stopped the spear, I go, that could be Thor's hammer. Now it's going to throw it back at dude or lady. Threw the energy back? Uh-oh, 10 rings. That's probably how Shang-Chi died, or at least got knocked down, right? Because he pulled what he did to his dad, and Shang probably didn't expect it, plus time powers. See how I froze Janet? Think about freezing all the Avengers like that. Movie over, cut credits. King just goes, you wasted your popcorn. And just kills them all in one punch. Wouldn't that be bad? That's why they didn't show it.
It's going to be like darker than Infinity War.
He freezes them all and talks crap and
wait
kills
just
them.
a damn second here now. Infinity War was... No, okay, so if he had lost that fight with the ants and all that stuff, I'm still putting Thanos' hand-to-hand combat, no powers, over Kang's.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we're going to see like the evil side of it. We got a glimpse of it. I'm sure we're just seeing a little glimpse. And that's what I was like hoping for, because I was afraid they were just going to show him he was going to get beat and then come back. But they presented him in a way where he actually seemed like a viable threat to like the future, you know, where it wasn't just a one-off villain kill, the next movie move on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I told a fun guy. I think when we left the theater, I said I don't think he's dead. I think we'll see him later on, but it'll be, as you said, back. It'll be in a different context of being more powerful than the setup was good, and what we'll see later on is just someone who's way more powerful than they thought.
If you strike me down, become more powerful, you can imagine. I agree with some YouTubers that said this. It depends on how they play it, but that Kang either is going to pop up when we least expected, or he's going to come back openly as another form of another comic book character,
Right.
except still be Jonathan Majors. Make any sense? I was very vague with that, wasn't I?
I think he's dead.
Okay, we got one to think he's dead.
Well, the only reason why I think that is because, are you okay if we jump to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the post credits.
Well.
Like, okay, maybe he's not technically dead, but he's so far buried within, what did they go, subatomic? Because he threw like 4 of those things at him.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
shrunk. It shrunk and grew, and then you see a version of him pop up, which a lot of people probably missed. Like you see a version of him pop up, one possibility that goes away, and then you see the whole scene.
Yeah. The reason why I think he's dead because of that, and then you see, I don't know the other 3 versions. If anyone know, like, because you had like a pharaoh. Oh, yeah, you're smiling because you probably know there's like a pharaoh, like the dude that looked like he was part of the thing from Star Wars Episode 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one that looks like the High Evolutionary, but because the way his style looks. But I'm assuming those are like the 3 higher council members of the Council of Kangs. But I don't know who those guys were. Does anyone know like their versions of Kang? Who that was?
One was, I looked it up after, it was the one that looks like is Ramatut is the pharaoh. I think the one that looks like, I think you said the Star Wars one, I think is Immortus. And then the other one is, the other one is I forgot what his name was. It's Scarlet Centurion or something like that.
Supposed to be.
I don't know what it is,
They're
but
saying
I got,
it is.
when I saw the Immortus one, I got this is bad.
No, it's
I
not.
got like
Say
I got Big Trouble Little China vibes when
Oh my
when he
God.
came out. I don't know what it is, but like he was still good, but it still came off like these guys are going to be trouble. But I just got those vibes when he came out. But it was still
they're going to be big trouble.
still like
Kurt Russell confirmed
I
to the
couldn't
MCU.
resist.
Again.
oh my.
You know what Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
I thought wow, I forgot it because I thought someone said, I thought those like Immortus was He Who Remains, but it's probably something completely different because I think you're right with Immortus being one of those guys at the end credits because of his whole design and stuff like that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But my favorite.
No, I'm not trying to, because I could. So, if I could be 100% wrong, either that was He Who Remains later or earlier than we saw him in Loki, or it was a whole nother variant because they're wearing the same thing minus the face paint and the helmet, right? If you put both pictures side by side, they're wearing the exact same thing. So that's either a variant of He Who Remains or He Who Remains a different time period. Because a bunch of those Kangs are wearing the same thing. So I can't definitively say in that same scene.
One of them had the comic outfit, like when they at the end when he goes, "How many did you call?" and they all pop up. One has the comic book, like look on him with like the whole like cloth, like cloak on top and everything,
like Star Wars.
It's like all different Darth Mauls, right?
Absolutely.
Different Darth. So I don't want them to do. Let me just go ahead and tell you because I want it to be wrong. The Kang that we saw, that Conqueror version, right? The Exile. Supposedly, and I hope this doesn't happen because it'll cheapen another character. They bring him back as the MCU's Beyonder, right? He somehow gets you the Beyonder armor, or becomes Beyonder because he accesses some other energy, and he's like, "Aha! You thought you got rid of me, but I became more powerful." I'm like, "God dang it!" They're probably gonna do that in one of the Avengers movies. That's one possibility. Or they might do what already happened in the comics, where the ending we saw was supposed to happen. He set it up, which Kang has done before in the comics. Like, it looks like you beat me, but I had to do that, so my other me's wouldn't suspect me, right? So either that can happen, or he infiltrates the Council of Kangs, right? Or comes back with Beyonder. One of those will most likely happen, unless they just got rid of the
But
Exologists now.
you prefer that the exiled one infiltrates the Council of Kings? You prefer
Rather than become the Beyonder, both are kind of cheap to me. But rather him like, aha, now I'm the Beyonder, and F you fanboys who already knew who I was because it's the MCU now. I'd rather him be like, aha, my other cheesy route, I took a route and infiltrated Council of Kings without them knowing because I knew that was going to happen. It seems less cheesy to me. I could be wrong, but personally,
it seems more. I feel like it definitely seems more scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like absolutely menacing, because it sounds like all Kings are pretty menacing, but you get the one that infiltrates them. That means that's the most menacing of all the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's going to be the most difficult to beat.
It's scary for me because I was just like, isn't he who remains technically the strongest one since he was overseeing all the timelines? But I didn't realize he was only overseeing one timeline,
right?
And that was
he
the
trimmed.
one that we're used to. I don't know if they confirmed. Is it 616? This universe with?
Yeah, we're 6.
It makes me
this
sad.
Is 616. I think the one from Multiverse of Madness. The other one's 838.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
okay,
it's the
so-
opposite.
So that's crazy because originally I was just like, oh, isn't he the strongest? They already killed. But then it's like, no, wait, there's multiple timelines that have other versions of Kang in there, which is crazy.
So you're not wrong. What happened with the He Who Remains is he ended the multiversal war in a possible timeline and then trimmed the rest of his others out. So he won the Kang War by surviving. The exile was still exile, but time works differently. And he ended the war against anyone who wasn't exiled with Alliance, right? Took the big cloud thingy and pruned the rest of them, and then made it so they didn't exist. He kept what we call the sacred timeline. He kept pruning that with the TVA, like a bonsai tree. Actually, no, not like a bonsai tree, like a very, very well kept bush.
Hey, what are you trying to say, man? Bonsai tree? What are you trying to say over here, dog?
He like it's like it's not even a bonsai tree. That's a wrong analogy. He took like a small bush and let no small branches on it. I got a perfect donut. Anything that grows out of this wood, I'm snipping. I'm gonna polish it. It's gonna be perfect.
Why do you
Even
gotta
though
use
I'm killing
donut,
the
man? Like,
timelines.
because I'm big?
Who, Macho Man?
Macho Man's coming.
Jeff says it's all a test, in my opinion. He's gauging members of the Avengers. When he sees his chance or has them at their weakest, he'll invade the prime timeline.
Okay, Jeff. All right.
The only thing
I
kept thinking is like, oh, I wonder how he killed the Avengers. Because remember, he was like, they all start to blend together.
Yeah, different ones, different ways. Have you seen who's watched Earth Mighty's Heroes?
Oh, some of it.
The cartoon. Please do that. For a good version of Doom and a good version of Kang, please watch that. And you'll see how the MCU may draw from that when you see him fight your favorite Avengers and they lose. I mean, triumphantly win because they're good guys. Yeah, that's it. That's it. He normally chumps superheroes. That's what he does. And he's the guy in a suit. He didn't lie about that. Unlike Doom, he has no magic backup. It's just super duper duper tech and knowledge from different timelines. He's also the greatest military leader in the Marvel comics. I think Marvel said that themselves. I didn't know that. The comic version is, anyway.
Greater than Red Skull.
Red Skull doesn't have time. Get it? Get it?
Dude. Oh, my God. Jeff said he shaped time, said he'd have an advantage, so he thought.
So he thought, yeah. He's still a man. He's still a man. I'm glad he said that. Just a man like you.
Yeah. But I do like how they kept his comic look there. Like they still gave him the blue face, but they used it as a helmet.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to keep painting his face blue every time.
That'd be so dumb. So I'm one of the few nerds that happy they made that change. He's supposed to be Blueface. Yeah, he's also be a white guy who's related to Reed Richards or Doom as well. So get out of here.
What?
Making
He's
his
white?
face, yeah.
I don't like this.
So having a blue face mask with those two scars, I had no complaints. It's actually one of the best translated comic book looks in Marvel or DC. IMO. I said IMO in real life, didn't I? In my opinion.
I mean,
I was like,
I think with adaptations in general, it should give you some freedom as long as you keep the spirit of the character. You couldn't make physical changes. It's fine. So, and I don't think there's anything necessary saying Kang has to be blue.
he doesn't.
Yeah. So,
Well, it's what my daddy read in the comics. So if his comics
Back
say
in
he's blue,
1960,
and if
yes, certain Kangs were blue, but they're all not blue.
he starts rounding up the Kangs, we're family.
Oh, no.
Wait, are you
It's all
blue?
about family.
No,
We're
I don't
fam-
like you no more.
It's all about family.
It's all about family. Get in. What's that thing called? The engine. Get in the engine. We're gonna save the family.
Oh, what if they did just get in the multiversal engine, the seat where it's all about family? Dumb. I mean,
Stupid.
Kang.
Jeff says he shaped time so they'd have an advantage. So he thought. They said if Kang invaded X timeline before the Avengers formed and didn't form, that's one way. I guess that's the one way you could have stopped them.
Okay.
Before they even start, yeah.
so they're all.
I was reading this thing where he said he wanted Robert Downey to come back. And I know we're kind of like veering off here from the movie, but still kind of coincides.
That's okay.
It's
a good coincides.
I don't know, man. It would be cool to see Robert Downey come back, but it's kind of like one of those things where it's like I liked his story and the way it ended.
I did.
But if they bring him back, I'm not going to get mad.
I could see watching this made me think that he will come back more. Like there's a better chance, just from the standpoint, like from Scott's out of his realm. And what if they need a big brain and the only big brain left? If there's a way to bring him back, he's the big brain that will give him the edge over Kang.
What about Hulk?
Aha.
Hulk or Reed Richards is supposed to be out.
I guess in that sense, yeah.
You're right though. For a tech brain, because remember, Banner said, "This is not my wheelhouse."
Right.
High tech like this is not my wheelhouse.
That's what he said in Endgame, and that's why.
I mean, Ed Norton would have let that happen, but you know,
that's true. He wanted to write different. He wanted to write different.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So go ahead.
We should have Edward Norton take over Kevin Feige's job.
Ooh,
He'll take over Kevin Feige's job, but he wants to direct most of the stuff, star in most of the stuff, write most of the stuff. Like, can I play both Bruce Banner and Reed Richards? I think I can do both.
What if we have Hulk? What if we have Hulk team up with the Guardians?
That'd be fun.
But yeah, I'd be curious to see if they bring him back. But like, I want to see him interact with the other superheroes because all this thing did was get me like hankering for more to see what we're going to see out of him in the future.
I think that's what I wanted to do.
Especially, I want to skip all the way to Kang Dynasty right now.
Yeah,
just fast forward.
like speaking about RDJ if he comes back. I feel like if there's a spot that he comes back with, it's probably. I feel like they'll hint it at an Ironheart or something like that. Because in the comics, he's the one that helps her build the suit better, which she's already is. But maybe he's the one that gives her the little tweak.
So you're right.
Make the suit better. So does he come back as like a hologram and then an AI or something like that, and then that's where they go from? I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Because he already has holograms. We saw a hologram in Endgame when he gave it to the family. So you could have because unlike the comics, Sheen is right. He talked to her and her mom before he died the first time in the comics. She met him in real life. Then he left her an AI in case he couldn't be there. Or he said, "Hey, I'm Tony." The AI remembered her because they met in real life and talked about MIT and the armor and why. He shows up in the garage with the mom. Just read that scene when you get a chance and meeting her for the first time.
Yeah, I did want to say back to the movie. My bad. I made you veer off because the after credit scene got us hyped, obviously. But I do want to talk about like some of the other characters in the movie, like the ooze guy that didn't have holes, but eventually he got holes at the end. And his little hands, like it's like I did like how that's cool. Like they drank whatever drink it was, and I can understand what's going on in the quantum realm and the language, which was a nice touch on it.
Drink the ooze. Drink
the ooze.
Yeah, it was funny. I thought overall this had a better blend of humor and dramatic stakes. Like I think they balanced it like pretty well. Like the jokes landed pretty good, but then they also like when things got dramatic, it got dramatic. And this is coming from someone who didn't hate Thor: Love and Thunder, but I even recognize that this was a better balance of humor, but also the drama side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have to agree.
I'll give Peyton Reed credit for that.
Yeah, it gave me enough Ant-Man humor, but it didn't overtake the entire film and feel like, oh, this is now a rom-com. Yeah. So the stakes don't really matter because it's a great film or it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Or more like, we didn't need that joke there. Okay, we could. I think most things I think everything like felt like natural.
I feel like it didn't rush. Yeah. It didn't feel rushed at all either. I felt like it was well done. Like it didn't feel rushed at all. I don't know how to explain that, but it just felt like I sat there for a good amount of time and it was good. It felt like 2 hours.
Bit rushed for me, but not in a way where it took me out of the movie. It was still like I was like there until the end, like all for it. Yeah, I mean, can we talk about how it was really cool seeing Scott Lang become like Giant Man and just destroying, like going.
Yeah,
we made a deal.
Oh, when he was going like Kang, I was thinking like Wrath of Khan vibes, Khan.
Khan.
Is that other Star movie?
Khan.
Yeah, the original one where Benedict Cumberbatch played Khan. That's the original.
The Jar Jar Abrams version.
Yeah,
Bro Trek.
Yeah, I did like that because you kind of like you got to see him in full Godzilla mode, just destroying stuff, and he even referenced it. Then he's like, "It feels like I'm hugging Godzilla," like when he's hugging his daughter. Yeah.
And I love the throwback to I kind of want like what she said she wanted lemons or something. I was like, yeah, citrus. It's like a weird craving you have when you turn.
Does anyone have any orange slices?
Oh,
so good. Oh, back in the airport, right?
Yeah. Does anyone have any orange slices?
You guys saw the LonelyFans page. I was at Alamo Draft House.
Yeah. Talk about that, dude, because you had a little.
Oh, yeah. Alamo Draft House. What'd you eat there, though? You just drink?
What did I eat? I didn't. I drank an orange slice milkshake.
Did you?
Oh my god!
Really?
Yeah. Here, hold on.
That's real?
Look at the menu.
Oh shit!
That's kind of cool.
There's a menu you can read with it. That's cool.
I don't know if I could have read it.
That's excellent, though.
Yeah,
so you have to get that.
You don't know if you can read. You don't know if you can read it. You have to turn the card the other way.
Press the button, it grows big.
Yeah.
That's cute.
What happens if somebody walks in the theater with a monocle? Is it double the vision when they use that? Or how does that work?
So if the Monopoly guy comes in?
You'll probably burn your eye.
I thought that was pretty cool how they did that.
Yeah,
but that now reminds you when they had pizza. They had a little pizza and then they put the thing in to make it grow in the beginning when they ate it.
And he goes like, "Save myself $8."
Jeff kind of agrees. He says pacing was smoother than the last few. Yeah,
agreed.
For sure.
Okay, agreed.
What was the last movie? Oh, it was Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, Wakanda Forever didn't pace as well as this did. Oh, does he mean the last Ant-Man?
I would say, like, if we're looking at the last movies, I felt like Thor: Love and Thunder was rushed, but like Wakanda and this one were very. where the pacing was fine. It was well done. It wasn't filled in. It didn't feel rushed at all.
I love Alvy's face when you mentioned Love and because I know. Look, I liked it too.
Yeah, I liked Love and Thunder a lot.
It
but
wasn't a bad movie. It just I didn't like. I like it more than Thor 2.
No, let's have Gore fight Kang. Let's see who wins.
Oh,
I think Kang will defeat Gore. Like Gore will have a good running start. He'll bring out his Necro sword, and then Kang will be like, "Oh, that's cute," and then
yeah.
What if it was Gore with Christian Bale's mentality from when he kirked out the studio set?
Whoa.
Well, does Kang get his time powers?
No, it's his hand. They don't say his sword.
coming
Oh,
in.
Kang, yeah, he did kirk out the studio.
Huh? You're building all these empires. What's your problem, huh?
I really thought this was going to be the movie where they tie in some of those like artifacts that haven't been explained yet in the MCU.
They're
But
not
maybe
going to do it for a while.
It sucks because it's like then you're going to forget about it by the time.
I won't. What you
Like, did we think they were going to talk about the rings?
Like those
I
weapons,
thought-
like the bangles, or somehow like something that
That's
ties it
what
together. Because
They want your money. They can't
Yeah.
give you too much.
No, but you know what? He's got a point because the whole movie I kept thinking about at least the bangle, and I'm like, what is the other artifact? And then you said it's the rings, and I was like, I totally forgot about it. I hope they do, as I said, like mention it, at least mention it something. But
It's got to
I don't
come
know.
together. It'll probably come together in Kang Dynasty. So that probably means like the main primary team will be Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel.
The Eternals. You saw some of the Eternal words in there.
Get some,
Wait, what?
get some Eternals in there.
Some of the writing for the Eternals was in Kang's world as well.
really,
If
I
I'm
missed
right,
it.
if I'm right, there's so much stuff I missed, man. Like there's a
Damn.
lot. They sneak in a lot of stuff in these movies because
Yeah.
they get paid to do it and we don't. So I got to do my homework.
Oh, Jeff was talking about pacing for the last few Marvel flicks. Wakanda.
Oh, okay. Wakanda. Yeah, Wakanda felt long, but it was paced well. It's longer than I thought it was, though.
Could you imagine if, like, whenever Kang Dynasty, like, when it comes out, those weapons and those artifacts, like, just become useless because he turns them off. And so then now they're to fend for themselves. Yeah.
You're right, because the 10 rings look like they're smaller versions of his world, right?
Yeah.
They need the Eternals, man. But we're not going to see anything about the Eternals, so Eternals 2, which makes me sad.
Well, no, because all these asshole, like, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. That one, I like that movie. He said, clearly Spider-Man
did.
takes down Kang with web shots to the face and kick to the balls. More magic. Magic with a kick.
I would laugh. I
Well,
would laugh if
hold
they
on.
had Spider-Man solo Kang.
If we're talking Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, yes, because he doesn't pull back his punches anymore. So he's definitely going to be Kang. It's not a prediction, y'all. It's a spoiler.
it's the truth. It's the
Andrew
truth.
Garfield. Oh yeah, because he's the murderer in Morbius. They took that storyline away. They didn't tell you which Spider-Man world Morbius was from, but it's Andrew Garfield's.
Who cares?
I think. Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? I with Albie. Who cares? What movie is that? I don't know what that movie is.
Hey, man. Hey, dude. I got nothing.
I mean, I'm gonna see it again.
Which
What-
movie?
which-
Are we talking
which- wait, which-
Morbius.
I thought you were talking
Oh,
about Ant-Man.
I couldn't. I didn't even
one
want
guy.
to.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna see Ant-Man again. There's a bunch of stuff I have to catch. So
Yeah, it's one of those movies I have to watch again because it's like you want to notice these certain things, but also like you just want to rewatch it again. This one definitely has a rewatchability factor to it.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
it's a downright fun movie.
Yeah, I'm already planning on seeing it with Sheen and/or Pac already. I already see us together.
Ooh, I like this one because I was thinking something along this lines. Jeff said when Kang dies, the artifacts will light up a beacon alerting Galactus to celestial artifacts in essence, and Grimace Galactus is hungry. I do think Galactus is going to be the next after all this.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah,
If that's the case, then I kind of think doing Eternals was premature. Then because then it's not going to be for like another 5 years because they already mapped
You're right.
out Phase
They already
5 and
mapped
6.
out Phase 5.
is Fantastic
So-
Four after Kang Dynasty?
No,
It's
It is
before. It's before
Okay, so
both
they'll
Eternals.
be-
It's
okay.
in between. It's like the middle movie of Phase 6.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
they
Kang's
didn't show anything else besides Kang. Well, both Avengers movies, and then Fantastic Four, and they showed nothing else. And they were like 4 or 5 other spots under Phase 6, but they only showed 3 things during Phase 6.
is Kang technically a FF villain first? I got to do my research. I forgot.
That's what I'm wondering, because I know Galactus is more known with Fantastic Four, but
Yeah, I think they're both more known with Fantastic Four, or first a version of Kang. A version of Kang the Conqueror, no, unless I'm wrong. But a version of Kang, the Egyptian one. How do you pronounce it again? Emoten?
Ramatut.
Ramatut. He was a
Ramatut.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic Four stopped that variant. Maybe that's how they'll split out the variants. They'll have FF take out a different variant or the same from the comics, which is Ramatut. We'll see. But the time was going to be met. What's up?
Nothing. I was going to say something stupid. Sorry.
Say it.
Say it.
When are they going to get to the firework factory? I've been watching Simpsons. Sorry.
that's
Oh, I was like, wait, it's a reference. So is I was nerding.
Cool.
Tony's line kept echoing in my head. For remember, he helps Captain America up, and I can't quote him because I sort of forgot it, but he says, "If you push against time, time pushes back. You'll see." He said something like that to
Oh,
Steve,
that's right. It's after the Avengers compound gets blown up. He's like, it like tends to, what is it? When you mess with time, it tends to mess back or fight. Yeah.
He said, "You'll see." And I think that because Tony had to test the GPSs on something, what did Tony see after his epiphany that we saw? Where did he test it before he went to Avengers compound? Because he had like a whole day or more because it's time. So he had as much as he wanted.
Yeah.
Where did he test him? How did he test him? What did he see? Because he said that comment with confidence. You'll see. I'm like, wait.
I mean, he's known. I mean, if he saw something or somebody saw him, as Thanos knew who he was because of his last name. So I mean, why wouldn't Kang know who he was? If for some reason he ran into him, he would probably know who he is, and he's probably knows that's the one person who has that could beat him at some time.
Didn't some say there's a variant of Kang that's a descendant of Stark or something like that?
Stark or Richards or Doom.
Oh, Iron Lad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either Stark. It depends on what MCU does because the comics have not definitively said who Kang's descendant is. It's either Richards, Stark, or
it's
Doom.
Nathaniel Richards. I think it's Nathaniel Richards.
The Richards family? Because I looked at something today.
If they base it off of it.
The MCU can do what they want. I forgot. They can pick a definitive timeline and say this Kang is descended from this because we said so. But the comics haven't certified it yet. Good point.
Good point. Well, we'll tackle the last thing, and that was the after credits for teaser for Loki season 2, which I like too. I was just like, I hope this isn't a silly after credits like we've seen before, like the ants playing drums or something like that, which was cool. But I like how this one leads into Loki, and it kind of ties that in with this. And you see, that has to be the first ever version of Kang.
Right.
No, it's not. But it is one that's going to be. I wonder if they make him important in the TV series.
Do they have enough money for Jonathan Majors for 8 episodes of Loki?
I hope
or
so.
6 episodes?
At least 3. Had him in for at least 3. Probably not, but I hope at least 3. I hope we see him more than what we just saw. I hope they don't take that stage. And that's all we see of that. We're going to see more than one
Probably
Kang
not.
in Loki season 2. I think.
I like
more than one variant.
Mobius was like, "That's him."
This guy isn't dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
But then
He can
that
do the
horror
voice.
look on Loki's face was like
that's him.
scary. Yeah.
You got to do it in an Owen Wilson thing. Is that him?
I was getting Shanghai Noon vibes, going like, "What? Wow, we could take him on."
Oh yeah, Shanghai Noon. God damn
I actually
it.
saw that in theaters when it came out in like 6th grade.
Nice. You supporting Jackie Chan at all? Wilson?
I saw Nights in theaters, Shanghai Nights in theaters.
Was that the second one or was that the first one?
That was the second one when they go to England.
You get
Did
it?
it?
Noon, Nights.
Yes.
The sequel.
Well, they're supposed to come out with Shanghai Dawn at some point.
What?
No. way.
Again?
No, they're not.
They've been
Come on.
talking about it, just like they've been talking about Rush Hour 4.
Why?
I
Why
kind
would
of
you
more
watch out
hope
for?
for. I know I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan coming back. They're going to be old.
The
Movie,
dawn of a new day, I guess.
movie has to take place like what? Man, pretty much has to take place in like the 1910s or something. So maybe they got to go to World War One or
Maybe that's what Loki is. It's coinciding with his role in Shanghai Dawn.
Ooh.
Morbius was Roy O'Bannon in another. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's
What?
him.
Wow.
That's him. I crashed a couple
Wow.
weddings scarier than that guy. Come on, man.
Wow.
Is Vince around here? Where's Vince?
Timeline and football. Let's go.
Timeline.
you guys are forgetting his best role. He was great in Armageddon. So you know,
right.
Ben Affleck's like, I'm like Han, and you're like Chewie, and Owen goes like, Chewie, have you ever even seen Star Wars?
Oh my. That should be a podcast for future
Armageddon.
top 5 in 90s. Like, should have won an Oscar, but didn't win an Oscar. Armageddon's up there.
You're forgetting about The Rock.
Ooh, that was
Nicolas
so
Cage.
good.
It was
Not, not the actor, the movie, The Rock.
The movie The Rock.
How about
I've seen that.
90s The Rock when he was in his spandex in the ring? No, I'm talking. We're not talking about that Rock.
We're talking about Nicolas Cage and
Sean Connery.
What about the original Fast and Furious? Gone in 60 Seconds.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good film.
But
let's go.
let's go. Jeff says there's got to be a top tier Kang system in the Council of Kang. So, due to the time thing, is definitely top 5. Oh, we're talking about the first. The first one.
Yeah, Victor Timely, I think.
Oh, nice play on words.
No, you didn't. Because it depends on how they use Victor Timely. I hope they utilize him more than they did in the comics. That was... Which variant was that? Was that... Anyway, Victor Timely, that before he became that, in the comics, he lost against the Avengers. It was like, oh, well, stop this supervillain thing. We go back and we go forward in time and went to 1901. You can YouTube it, but that's what happened.
Yeah, I heard that he pretty much goes back in time to like pretend to be this Edison type figure, and then like,
oh, that's smart and sadistic at the same time. Almost like he's some sort of supervillain.
Almost.
All right. Before we close it out, anyone got any final thoughts on the movie itself?
Um,
Don't mess with ants. I guess it's a.
Ants are stronger.
I want to see more of the ant civilization. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I also
What was the
got to
thing
check,
you
like I
said?
said, the consultant physicist for the film. I want to see if it's the same guy as the other ones.
Never give up on the little guy. Is that this thing?
That's the theme of the movie.
Okay, there.
Something like that.
or always
Don't
has
forget the little guy.
or something like that.
Mm.
Oh, actually, no. They actually legit released a memoir, a Scott Lang memoir.
Oh,
I think they actually.
They did.
I think I kind of want to buy it.
you should.
Did they really release one?
Yeah, they did. I don't know if it's like a long book or anything, but they did. I gotta look it up.
You should 100% watch that. And listen
Um,
the Wakanda Files too. I want to read that.
I'll say this: I like this very much. If they do an Ant-Man 4, which I think they should, I think he deserves more stories. I wouldn't mind it taking it to another level, but let's bring. Can we bring Luis back, please?
That's
Yes.
right. None of the ex-cons were in
bring
this.
the team.
That's
Which
Bring
I
the
kind of
team.
get that we didn't have time to have him in there.
I see what you did there. Time.
Time, right? There was already a lot going on because we had to focus on Scott Lang. We also had to focus on Janet and her, situation, fill up on her story. And then, a little bit on the revolutionaries as well. So we just didn't have time for Luis to tag along. So
Bring the whole team.
yeah, next time bring at least bring Luis back. I mean, the rest of the cons too, but at least bring Luis back.
Or he
I
can
can see
get them
them
out
doing-
of the quantum realm.
I could see them doing like a one-off, like a one-short with him. So where was I during all this? Well, here's what happened. I went to Baskin Robbins looking for a free ice cream. All right, well,
Nice.
before we peace out, Jeff said The Rock was a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do.
It originally, I think the script originally was for a James Bond movie.
I didn't know that.
Turned it into one of the most badass movies ever.
The Rock was good.
But yeah, we like the movie overall. General consensus, we all gave it 8s except for Fun Guy because he had to be Simon Cowell too and gave him 7. But it's definitely something we'll watch again. And then for next topic, probably proper haberdashery, what to wear in the fall and winter. Probably next.
What are you talking about? Spring's coming up. We gotta,
Is it?
we gotta talk about our spring fashion.
Guys, the rompers are back.
Rompers are back.
Thanks to Jeff for being a real one. Thanks for chilling with us, man, and chatting it up with us too. But we will be back. Hopefully next week we'll have another topic on hand. Maybe we'll talk again about old 90s movies that suck that should have won Oscars. I don't know.
We can, yeah.
From me, Pack Photos, a Fun Guy, and Sheen. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.